Hey guys, it's Shannon from iHeartRadio Canada, joined by David Guetta, who is just here saving 2020 with his upbeat anthem. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you very much. It's a release date, so it's nice.
Yeah, it's got to be a good feeling. Does it feel any different because you're more in isolation and you're not really surrounded by people?
Not really, not really. It's funny. I waited that it was midnight. I'm in Europe, so at midnight in Europe, they've put it on Spotify, and I was like, I heard it for the first time, on streaming services. Like, this is cool. I was happy. I went to bed.
That's good. I'm glad it never gets old, considering the amount of hits that you've released.
No, it still makes me very happy, of course.
Yeah, and you and Sia, you guys have countless songs together. What is it? Just at a point now where like you'll text her or she'll text you, and you'll be like, "Okay, should we make another song?"
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I mean, that we need a reason to do a song, and this time that's exactly how it worked. I texted her and told her like, look, everything is so depressive. Like, can we just do a happy song to make the world feel better? Something about going through this together and not against each other. And she's like, yeah, I like this. I'm busy with my movie, but I like this concept a lot. Send me some music. So, I sent her some simple chords, and in 24 hours, she turned that little text message into a beautiful song. And then, yeah, I produced it, and here we are. Now we're doing interviews.
That's crazy. That's the thing about Sia, that she's just so talented in that way. Is that what drew you to her in the beginning and what's kept you guys so consistently working together?
Yeah, she's my favorite artist. She's just such an amazing writer. First, crazy voice, big voice. Like, she has soul, which is very important for me, even though she has this crossover pop potential. There's an edge in her music. It's just like she has everything I love.
That's so great. Was it true that the song was originally a lot slower when you guys started out and then you sped it up?
Yeah, it was a ballad when
Yeah.
we wrote it, and I doubled the tempo around it, so it became that big energetic anthem. But it wasn't at the beginning.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you guys went with the upbeat. It like really
Yeah,
adds to the positivity in the message.
yeah.
Yeah, that's great. What made you want to go with the 80s vibe for the song?
Well, because I wanted to do a really big happy song, and I feel like if you think of that shameless feel good music, it's probably the 80s that represents it the best.
I feel like there's a lot of like 80s vibes in pop music right now, so I feel like that's a good fit. Could we get like a whole 80s inspired album from you next? What's to come?
Yeah, I'm down. I'm
Yeah.
down. I'm like, yes, I have quite a few actually in that lane.
Do you find that you can like make more music now, right now, because you're not in a different country every day?
Yes,
Yeah.
100. I have so much music. Wow, it's crazy right now. It's crazy the amount of time I spent, doing like traveling, having meetings, stuff like this. And also again, I find myself with so much time, and I like to keep myself busy. So I started to make music like a lunatic, like every day, every day, every day, all day.
That's so nice. I feel like 2020 for a lot of people, especially because we've all been forced to slow down, that it's caused everybody to like self-reflect a lot more. Do you find that you're doing that? Just taking that deep breath and looking at your life?
Yeah, because well, in a way, you try to think about what's important for you, and music is definitely important for me. I also took my first summer holidays with my kids,
Nice.
and now it's really amazing because I'm always touring.
Yeah. What did you guys do for your holiday?
So I went to a place in France where I've never been before. My kids live in London, even though they're French, so it was nice to see the country together. I would with like 10 kids, all their friends. It was very funny.
Do you find that you can travel a little bit more now that things are kind of slowly getting there? Or are you still just staying in one place? Like, where have you been spending?
Yeah, I'm trying not to travel too much, but yeah, a little bit. I
Yeah,
have to.
that's nice. What do you see for the future? Because obviously the pandemic has impacted your work so much with traveling and putting on these massive shows. What do you see for the future when it comes to festivals and huge shows full of hundreds of thousands of people?
Well, I'm not planning on working probably before March 2021.
Mhm.
But the way to make myself feel good is to think like, imagine how crazy those parties are gonna be when people are gonna be able to party again. It's gonna be the biggest parties ever, probably, like a year of celebration, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, it's worth the wait.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good way to look at it, like a big reunion with everybody getting back together.
Hmm.
Okay, so you are the reason that we see so many faces of producers and so many collaborations between DJs and pop artists, especially in the US and Canada. I feel like you brought that popularity here. Did you
Thank you.
know that this was something that was going to catch on when you started doing it, or did you do it mainly for your own recognition?
No, I honestly, at the beginning, I really felt like it wasn't fair because, I remember making those first records and people not understanding. They would tell me like, "But why is your name on the cover?"
Mhm.
And I would say, "But when a singer that is singing a song that she did not write, did not compose, you feel like it's totally normal. But if someone that created that record puts his name on the cover, you think this is strange. Like, what's the logic in this? You know? But it was really, really considered very, very strange for a producer to put his name on the cover. And it was kind of accepted because I was a DJ and I had like already fans that were following me in my DJ parties, so that was kind of the explanation because my music was different. But I think since, mentalities have changed a lot and it became normal now. And even in other types of music, like if you see DJ Khaled.
Yeah, totally. And I feel like you're the reason that that's the way that it is. So that's
Well, I'm maybe one of the pioneers of this. I'm not the only one, but yeah, I've worked a lot for this to happen, and really, it was not only about me. It was about, I was really feeling like DJs were not getting the recognition that they deserved, and it's happened. It happened then.
Yeah, that's true. Because do you feel like you had to have a lot of conversations with a lot of pop artists then to be like, no, actually, this song that we're working on is going to be on my album, and I'm not going to give it to you?
Actually, not so much because at that time, a lot of those artists, they would love hearing my music in the clubs, but they would be scared to make this type of records. So they were actually happy to kind of give it a try before taking full responsibility for it. So, it was that was the thing. I remember even like when I made a record with Snoop Dogg, and I made this record called Sweat, and he was really like, he was like, this is weird. I don't know, like, and I took hip hop vocals that he gave me that were written on a hip hop beat, but I heard it in a completely different way. And then we went number one everywhere, and it was like, oh, okay, this is cool. But he was not, he was a little bit scared. And at first he asked me not to release it in the US, because it was a little bit like, I don't know, like this is. So I think for many, many people before it got so, so big, because after I got a feeling, then everybody was calling me like, come on, let's make records, produce for me and all of this. But before that, I think they were happy to kind of be able to try it without taking an image risk. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's good that they were at least able to like take that risk and try something new. Because that's how I feel like that's how pop music and it all forms, right? And evolves.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I have to say probably the first big pop artist that when we did When Love Takes Over with Kelly Rowland, she's the first that came to me, and she was like, "I love this. Let's do it."
Yeah. And that song that sticks out for me too, because that was so revolutionary too, because it was such like a heartfelt song, but also such like you wanted to dance, but also wanted to
Yeah,
cry, you know?
exactly. Well, that's the concept of my music since I started dancing and crying at the same time.
That's what we'll do once the pandemic is over. We'll all meet up in the club and dance and cry together.
Yeah, no, but really, really, it's I like making emotional music, but with energy.
Yeah, yeah, and it totally does that too, because and it lasts for so long as well. I remember there's like memories of ofpikati that I'll always listen to that song and think of like high school, and it like has that place in your heart. So you've done that for so many people.
Yeah, that's so nice. I love when people say this, that they associate a moment of their life with my music. I think this is incredible.
Yeah, I have many of those with you, so I'm very excited to talk to you today.
Nice.
You recently set 2 world records. You have the most amount of views for a DJ set on Facebook. You're the most liked DJ on Facebook, as well as Twitter. Do these records, does that mean anything to you, or do you just have so many accomplishments in your career that you're like, oh, just another one?
Every time I hear something like this, it feels like a little miracle, because I'm not a blasé person, I always wake up feeling thankful for everything in life. So yeah, I'm no, I'm super happy about everything. Every time something good comes, I'm trying to appreciate it.
That's good. I like that positive attitude. Do you find that it's hard to maintain a positive attitude throughout the pandemic and everything going on in the world?
No,
No.
but again, I'm lucky, like some people don't have money to eat. So, of course, it's easier for me to feel like this. But yeah, I always try to make the best of every situation.
Yeah, that's nice. That's so important. David Guetta, thank you so much for just creating music and just being so great, and congrats on the song. So happy for
Thank
you.
you so much. Bye.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
to speak to you.